YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Hello, y'all. I'm gonna start off with a cigarette on this one because I know that it's gonna get deep, y'all. Once again, I feel like I've been giving up the ghost a lot lately in my videos. Not to the extent that I'm about to, but like I feel like I haven't really been on it as far as news pieces and stuff like that, and it's been really personal lately. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to review my stuff. And am I doing my sister's thing? Hold on, let me bring this down just a little. I'm still paying these off. Okay, so here's the thing. 2 days ago, I decided, out of the clear blue, to exercise. There wasn't some great big light bulb going off or aha or, revelatory moment. It just, I don't know, I just kind of felt like doing something active. So I stood up and I did 10 wall push-ups. This was the first time in over a decade that I had done some cognizant, methodically thought out form of physical activity, other than just the stuff that we all do on a day-to-day, like walking. And yesterday, I did my 10 push-ups on the wall. I didn't think much of it. And yesterday, I ended up walking to the store. They made these self-extinguishing cigarettes because somebody does not like me. Anyway, yesterday I went to the store to pick up my usual cigarettes and whatnot. And I noticed that the shoulder and upper back pain that I feel every time I have to walk any significant distance, was not there. I noticed it actually as I was in the middle of getting across like 8 lanes of traffic. I was like literally standing in the median or on the median in the middle of my very, very busy street. And yeah, it just hit me like a ton of bricks that I'm not in pain. So yesterday, I made the decision that I am going to be well. It's very hard, and I just don't know if anybody who's not sitting where I'm sitting or, has been in or is currently in the position I'm in can ever really appreciate how hard it is to talk about this, to talk about size, and to talk about weight. It's, for a big person, it's the elephant, no pun intended, in the middle of every room that you're in. And coming to a conscious, dialogue, even like with yourself, is nerve-wracking. You feel vulnerable. You feel exposed. You feel, antsy and paranoid and nervous, and it's just a lot to go through internally. Discussing it externally with anybody is like, putting your proverbial feet in the metaphorical stirrups and just giving the whole world a view at, your situations. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. I am 32 years old. And I am morbidly obese. I'm sorry, y'all. I know that I'm taking some long pauses for this one. Once again. But yesterday kind of felt like the universe was talking to me, because you know they're airing the episodes, like the 25th and final season of Oprah, like the reruns, so to speak. And I caught it today after, like, I didn't realize they were airing them, but I caught it today, and today's was 100 people who've lost over 100 pounds. And fast forward to after that, totally inspirational show, by the way. Fast forward to after that, when I'm watching the Discovery Channel, note to self, never do that again. And I was watching these stories of these super morbidly obese people, like a 660-pound woman, a 1,035-pound man, and the struggles that they deal with. And I was sitting there looking at them, and I was saying to myself, you know, there's no indication that you're, you know, like there's no bell that rings when you hit 500 pounds. There's no shofar that blows when you hit 600 pounds. It's accumulative. Rome was not built in a day. It's just living a sedentary lifestyle with deep-rooted issues of food addiction. In 2000, and I'm going to have to look at this because I just don't know it off top. Yeah. In 2009, I started a blog. It was my first real attempt to become healthy. And that blog was and is called Mission Such a Pretty Face. And it came from, as everyone should know, the constant catchphrase that every big girl has heard at least once in their lifetime. You have such a pretty face. My goal at that time was to lose 100 pounds in 1 year. 100 pounds, 365 days. That was the goal at the time. I was inspired to do that because of the book, and I should know her last name, but the book is called Julie and Julia. Julie and Julia. Julia and Julie? It's one of, you know, there was a movie about it. I feel terrible because I absolutely loved the book where, you know, this woman attempts to recreate all of Julia Child's recipes in 1 year. And I just said maybe I could lose 100 pounds in a year. Needless to say, that did not happen. And so I chalked it up as one more failure amongst the boneyard of weight-related failures I've experienced over the years, and I let the blog go. I stopped blogging. I am now at the point where the mission has changed. Well, the goal has changed. The mission remains the same. And the mission is to get well. Well, for me, doesn't have a number. It doesn't have a size. It doesn't have a, you know, a tag on the back of a dress. It just means well. It means I will no longer look at stairs as the enemy. It means I will be able to walk at the same pace as the majority of my friends and family. It means I will regain feeling in my outer thighs, which 6 years ago I lost and have never been able to get back since. I have a form of localized paralysis, y'all, known as myalgia paresthetica. Yeah, myalgia paresthetica. And I literally from my knee up to the top of my hips, I have no feeling. I mean, I can, get poked with needles and forks and whatever you want to throw at me, and I will feel nothing. And it's nerve damage from the weight that is sitting on me. It's hard for me to do this, but I feel so convicted that there's somebody out there going through this and might want to take this journey with me. Or at least maybe I can get some encouragement from y'all on my journey. But the thing is, I have a long-standing history of starting stuff and not following through. It's really hard to admit that one, but it's true. I do. I can. Nobody discourage Jahira quite like Jahira can. I am a firm believer. I'm not one of those girls, and I will never be one of those girls who just sits back and says, oh, being fat, fat is the enemy. I hate myself. I just can't look in the mirror one more day. That was never my issue. I mean, it is a reality, a very, very, very valid reality for so many women and men. It has never been the case for me, as far as once I realized that I was freaking gorgeous, couldn't nobody tell me any different. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was for me. This is not about me showing up somewhere in a pair of hot pants with some gladiator sandals on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has dick to do with that. Forgive my language. But I need to feel better. It's not even a want. I need to feel better. And I deserve this. I deserve to have fullness of life. I deserve to not have to deal with respiratory issues exacerbated by smoking and mobility issues exacerbated by weight. I deserve this. And I do believe, and I want to be very clear with anybody who may feel like I'm reneging on things that I've said in the past. I believe with my whole heart that you have got to love yourself right where you're at. That we as women spend so much time planning for a future which may or may not be a reality for us. Once I shave these 10 pounds off, once I color my hair, once my breasts get bigger or smaller, then I will be worthy of love. Then I will be worthy of blessings. Then my finances will increase. Then I'll get that promotion. Then I'll get that job. Then I can buy that house. It's always then with us. It's always then. And my whole thing, the whole purpose behind this mission has always been now. I have got to love myself right now because I'm not guaranteed another moment beyond right now. So yes, I love myself truly right now. The deeper issue for me and I'm still kind of conceptualizing this in my mind, so it may not come out quite as articulate as I'd like it to, but the deeper issue for me seems to be, am I loving myself enough? I do love myself, but am I really loving myself enough? If this was my friend or this was my child who was dealing with an addiction, an illness, an issue that, if left untreated, could inevitably and possibly, I'll say, take their life, what advice would I give them? And me knowing me, I would do whatever was in my power to help them see that they had to pull themselves out of their current circumstances. So if I can offer that kind of love and that kind of reassurance and that kind of heartfelt concern towards another person, I have got to be able to offer it to me. I'm telling you, this is less than a day old. So just know that you're getting it as I'm getting it. That's just where we're at with it. I thank God. I don't have it right now to show y'all because it's not here, but I thank God for the book Women, Food, and God by Janine Roth, which in my eyes should be required reading for anybody seeking to come to a healthy place through weight loss and you know, a lifestyle change. I sincerely, I have no greater recommendation for a book than this. And what I learned from that book, amongst a multitude of things that I learned, but what I learned from that book is that dieting, exercising, all of these things are helpful in losing weight and becoming healthy. But it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a stab wound. You may be treating the symptoms, but you're not getting to the root of the problem. And this book is all about digging in, getting so astronomically introspective as to really finding the heart of where this began. And if you can heal that, then your likelihood of whatever results you attain being permanent is exponentially greater than what would be if you don't do that. And for me, another cigarette is coming, I just know it. The root of this issue is I was raised in a home that offered me no sense of control over my own life. That my behavior, my aura, my mannerisms, my very essence was perceived to my parents as wrong. So they did what they thought was best to try to correct that behavior in me. As a result of which I had no sense of control over who I was. Because again, who I was considered wrong. Food became the only thing that I could control. My intake of it, my yearning for it, my medicating myself with it, that was the only thing I had control over. I remember now, and it really is a recovered memory because I haven't thought of this shit in years, I must have been 7 or 8 years old, and my mother used to buy bagels. She used to buy bagels for the house and keep them in the freezer, and in the morning she would, take them out, toast them, and that would be breakfast. I used to sneak downstairs at, again, 7 or 8 years old, at, just asinine hours of the morning for an 8-year-old, like 12, 1, 2 in the morning, to take a bagel out of the freezer and eat it. Frozen. I remember how cold the bagel was. I remember that it was still hard from being frozen, and I remember the texture of it, and I remember the taste of it, and I mean, it's something I would devour. And I'm sharing this with y'all against, like every sensibility I have. I'm sharing all of this with you because in that moment, for me, that bagel, as it filled me up, it was representative or representing the unfulfilled life I felt I was living. The love that couldn't fill me up because I didn't feel that my parents loved me as I was. It was so much bigger than the bagel, but it was a bagel nonetheless. So believe me when I tell you that these roots run very deep for me. Incredibly deep. And I mean, people throw this term food addict around like it's a damn Nerf ball. Am I a food addict? I have food issues. I have really deep-seated food issues. And so for me, the game plan, because I know I've been talking y'all's heads off and I'm sorry about that. The game plan is this. I am going to continue moving to the very best of my ability. I'm going to continue to step my game up. I will not get complacent, but I'm going to incorporate more movement into my life. Today, I did my 10 wall push-ups because I can't, and I'm going to just put it out there, I can't get on the floor. I can't get on the floor because it will take nothing but short of an act of God and the jaws of life and Schwarzenegger circa 1973, I'm not getting off the floor. So me getting on the floor, not an option, but I can do this on a wall. So I did my 10 wall push-ups today, and I did my arm circles, and I did my seated jumping jacks where it's just the arms going, but I promise you, you will feel it. I did it today, and then like I had to work, and once I got off of work, I did it again. And that was so cool to me, the fact that I could do it again. Like, I loved that. Experts will tell you that you have to work out, 30 minutes a day, a significant number of days a week in order to see some, quantifiable results. I, as a morbidly obese person, I cannot work out for 30 minutes at a stretch. That's something I can't do. But what I can do is work out for 10 minutes 3 times a day. I can do that. That's manageable to me. And it really is about clicking something on in your mind that says, you know what they are capable of doing is not where I'm at in my journey. But I can modify it and make it into something that works for me. As I'm recording this video, it is exactly 5:15 in the morning right now. At this hour, I tend to be up. I'm not going to lie. I tend to be up. And around this hour would be kind of like the magic I need something sweet hour. So prior to recently, that something sweet might have been a carton of ice cream. And tonight it was Jell-O Mousse Temptations, the dark chocolate decadence. 60 calories and no sugar. And I didn't finish all of it. And I'm not going to. I'm going to put it in my fridge and I'm going to eat it tomorrow. Okay, well wait, I'm going to suck my thumb. You got to start somewhere, people. I know I've been coming at y'all hard and heavy with this one tonight, but I just felt so convicted to get it off of my chest and off of my heart and into your ear. I really did. And this hasn't been easy for me. But I know that I'm talking to probably the most supportive group of people that I will ever come across in my entire life. And I really do believe that somebody is out there that needs to hear this and may want to start themselves. I'm going to be posting the link for my blog below. And the one question I have for y'all is, if I started to blog again, would you read it? I really do want to know. And please be honest. If you wouldn't, if it's not something that applies to you, please tell me that. I really would appreciate any feedback y'all have. I'll post the link below. You can look at the archived blogs. And I guess we'll just take it from there. I know I have an amazing, incredible support system. There's another friend of mine on the YT. I'm not going to include her name because I don't know if she wants to make this public as of yet, but I know her in my personal life from New York, and she's starting her own journey. She's going to the gym, which is something I can't do as of yet. I don't have the psyche to attend the gym, so I'm gonna be home, but I'm gonna be doing my thing. And I'm not subscribing to any one particular diet plan. I'm gonna be honest with you. 98% of diets fail. That's a statistic, backed up statistic. And so for me, it's going to be about portion control. It's going to be about making swap outs like y'all saw me do with my Mousse Temptations rather than the carton of ice cream. And, I feel like I have it in me to run this race and to get somewhere really amazing and somewhere that really works for me and what feels right for me. So pray for me, y'all. I've never needed it more. And thank you for everything. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And I'll be giving y'all and I'll be letting y'all know. Maybe I'll turn this into a series. Who knows? I'll I'll take your feedback, and based on what you say is how I'll approach it. So until next time, YouTube, all my love to you, as always, and one love.